Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's talk about Medicare. If you're getting close to that magic age of 65, the whole topic of costs can feel like a total maze. But don't you worry, we are going to break it all down step by step so you know exactly what to expect for 2026. By the end of this, you're going to feel a whole lot more confident.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the basic lingo you need to know. Then we'll walk through Part A, Part B, and the other options. And we'll finish up by looking at the big choice you have to make about your coverage. Sound good? Let's do it. All right, first things first. Before we can really get into the numbers, we've got to speak the language. It can feel like alphabet soup sometimes, but there are really just 4 key terms you need to get down. First up is the premium. This one's super easy. Think of it just like your Netflix or your gym membership. It's that fixed amount you pay every single month just to keep your plan active. You pay it whether you use your insurance a lot or not at all. Okay, next is the deductible. This is basically the amount you have to pay out of your own pocket for your healthcare before Medicare starts to chip in. Think of it as the first hurdle you have to clear each year. Then we have co-insurance. So once you've met your deductible for the year, you're not totally off the hook. From that point on, you and Medicare share the costs. Your share, which is a percentage, is called your co-insurance. And finally, there's the copayment, or what most of us just call a copay. This one's probably the most familiar. It's just a flat fee, like 20 or 30 bucks that you pay for a specific thing, like a doctor's visit or when you pick up a prescription. Simple as that. All right, now that we've got the lingo down, let's put it into practice. We're going to start with the foundation of it all, Medicare Part A. This is your hospital insurance. And right off the bat, here's some really great news. For most people, the monthly premium for Part A is a big, beautiful zero. That's right, nothing. If you or your spouse worked and paid Medicare taxes for at least 10 years, you've essentially already paid for it. But, and this is a really big but, premium-free doesn't mean cost-free. If you're actually admitted to a hospital, you'll have to pay that Part A deductible first, which is going to be $1,736 for each benefit period. After you've paid that, the first 60 days are covered. But if you have to stay longer, you can see these daily coinsurance costs start to kick in. Okay, on to Part B. So if Part A is for being in the hospital, Part B covers pretty much everything else. We're talking about your regular doctor's appointments, lab tests, medical equipment, all that good stuff. Now, this is a big difference from Part A. Almost everybody pays a monthly premium for Part B. The standard amount in 2026 is expected to be $202.90. And just a heads up, that amount can be higher depending on your income. Part B also has its own deductible, but this one is paid just once per year. You'll pay the first $283 of your medical costs, and then, for the rest of the year, Medicare starts sharing the load. And here's where our friend coinsurance comes roaring back. After you hit that yearly deductible, you're generally in an 80-20 split with Medicare. They pay 80% and you pay 20%. Now, that 20% is really important because there's no yearly limit on it. It can really add up. So let's take a quick breath. We have Part A for the hospital and Part B for the doctor. Together, that's what's called Original Medicare. But you've probably noticed some pretty big holes, right? What about prescription drugs? And what about that unlimited 20% you might have to pay? So let's talk about how to plug those gaps. This slide right here, this is the core decision you have to make. It's a fork in the road. Path 1 is you stick with Original Medicare from the government, and then you add on other private plans to cover the gaps. Path 2 is you choose an all-in-one plan from a private company called a Medicare Advantage plan. So if you go down that first path with Original Medicare, you're basically your own general contractor. You'll likely get a Part D plan for your prescription drugs, and then you'll probably want to get a Medigap plan. And Medigap's whole job is to pay for your share of the costs, like those deductibles and, most importantly, that 20% coinsurance. Now, I really can't say this loudly enough. Timing is absolutely critical when you sign up for Medicare. If you delay, if you miss your window, you can get hit with financial penalties that you will pay for the rest of your life. Seriously. So how do you avoid that nightmare? It all comes down to your initial enrollment period. This is a 7-month window around your 65th birthday. You have to sign up for Part A and B, and you have to make sure you have drug coverage in place during this time to avoid any future problems. Getting it right the first time is a huge deal. Okay, now let's jump over and look at that second path we mentioned, the all-in-one route. This is Medicare Advantage, which is also known as Part C. So these plans are offered by private insurance companies that have a contract with Medicare. They bundle everything, Part A, Part B, and usually your drug plan, all into one neat package. You do still have to pay that monthly Part B premium to the government, but here's the game changer. These plans have a yearly limit on your out-of-pocket costs. That provides a massive financial safety net.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. We've looked at all the different parts and pieces, so let's bring it all together and summarize that fundamental choice that's in front of you.
And here it is, side by side. Path 1 is Original Medicare, the build-your-own plan. The big pro here is flexibility. You can go to almost any doctor in the country that accepts Medicare. Path 2 is Medicare Advantage, the all-in-one. The pro here is simplicity, often lower premiums, and that crucial out-of-pocket max. The trade-off is you usually have to stay within a network of doctors.
And really, that's the big question, isn't it? Which path is the right one for you? There's no single best answer here. It really all depends on your personal health situation, your budget, and frankly, what helps you sleep best at night. I really hope breaking all this down makes that decision just a little bit easier for you. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.